Editor Lindsey Hilsum has spent the day there.
Blood and roses and the debris of panic. They had gone to a rock concert and ended up running for their lives. No time to think, just to flee, as the terrorists sprayed the crowd with gunfire. Inside the cordon, forensic teams were collecting samples. At least 87 people were murdered here, young people mostly, come to see a California band, the Eagles of death metal. Those who lived through it were still in shock.
They were just bleeding and yelling, and I was like, okay, what's going on, what's going on? We've been attacked again, and that's it. And we helped them, and we see.
Could you figure out what was going on?
Yeah, we understood what's going on. It was an attack, it wasn't something else. It couldn't be something else. So it was terrorists.
Outside the venue, a journalist with Le Monde filmed these extraordinary pictures from his apartment across the road. Concert-goers were fleeing.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
What's happening, he shouted. What's going on? People dragged out the bodies of their friends. It was desperate. More gunshots, more terror.
We managed to escape through a door that was right on the stage, and we hid there for 2 hours. 25 people in a room, all stacked one against the other, crouching and hearing Kalashnikov's shots. It was as if people were being tortured.
Someone climbed out onto the window ledge. Was jumping less dangerous than staying inside? A woman was hanging on seemingly by her fingernails, and the journalist kept filming until he too was shot. Today he was recovering in hospital. Another reporter was inside.
Instinctivement, j'ai tourné ma tête quand j'étais au milieu de la scène.
I turned my head instinctively when I was in the middle of the stage, and I saw these men who continued to shoot and were executing the people lying on the ground. They saw us running, and I grabbed this young lady who was trapped on the stage, hit by 2 bullets, one in the buttock and the other in the left thigh, and bleeding heavily on the brink of losing consciousness. I grabbed her, slung her over my shoulder, and we ran into the street.
Around midnight, anti-terror police were preparing to storm Bataclan. The concert-goers were hostages. The police couldn't negotiate because the gunmen kept shooting. Emergency services brought out the dead and the wounded. Those who could walk were brought out hands on heads. Outside, police medics were treating the injured. Dozens were rushed to hospitals all over Paris. Today, many of the wounded were still in hospital undergoing treatment. Some are in a critical condition. It's a scene that's being repeated at hospitals across Paris. Some people have come here to give blood, but others are looking for friends and relatives. I've just been speaking to a young woman and her brother. They said they were looking for a friend. They didn't want to talk on camera because their friend's parents didn't know yet that he was missing. This afternoon, people gathered outside Bataclan, grieving not just for the dead, but for a sense of security now lost. Because how can you live if you daren't go to a concert on a Friday night? Then someone decided to start the music again. To show that Parisians may be in shock, but they won't be silenced.